Gentleman renews his motion, properly seconded. Discussion, Representative Odom.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sponsor Yield.
Yes, sir.
Representative, did you have an opportunity to figure out what this bill does?
Yes, sir. You guys had a question for me that I needed to go ask about council members if the runoff provision is eliminated, and that's true. It is eliminated with this private act.
I wanted to ask you about private acts. You know, I guess I've been here 21 years, and I can't recall ever voting against a private act, because I served 12 years in the city council here in Nashville, and we frequently asked members of this delegation, our local mayor would ask members of this delegation to introduce local bills that were important to our local governments. And I would expect most everyone who's ever served in this House, even for one term, is going to be confronted with that situation. It may be something that personally, it may be a wheel tax, it may be a hotel-motel tax, it may be some issue that requires legislative approval at state level for the local government to even have an opportunity to consider. And I guess my question to you, and I think this was the issue that was brought up recently, you do have a record, and we have that record, of voting against individual members, kind of in a bipartisan way, I guess. I've seen it against folks on the other side of the aisle. I've seen it with my caucus members, where you have a fairly consistent record of voting against local bills. And the question was put to you the other day: why should those of us who've had local bills that you voted against ever vote for one of your own, even though most of us vote for every local bill that's presented? And I wondered if you had had an opportunity to think about that and would share with us your philosophy on local bills from this point on.
Thank you. Certainly wouldn't if you hadn't asked. I think I would say that if you've done some research on my local bills, then I want to see it. I'd like to know a percentage, perhaps. I think number two, I would say, I know I signed an oath that said that I wouldn't do what you're talking about. Y'all don't want to vote for my bill because of local ways I voted, and you want to vote accordingly. That's not really along with the oath. I challenge you about my votes, local bills. I feel like I have a very good record of voting for people's local bills. I understand and appreciate that it's a local bill. I try to only vote against the bad ones. I also have right here, I felt like another member was going to challenge me today. They didn't. But I had some information that I'd done, some research I'd done on their voting against my caucus members' local bills. So I appreciate you asking. I guess a fifth thing I would say is, what's this question have to do with my bill?
Well, the question obviously is how you consider other members of this House, both Republican and Democrat, their local bills. Because sometimes, as I say, we are put in a position because of the role we play as a member of this legislative body, where in order to give our local government officials an opportunity to consider a measure, we have, I think, a responsibility to bring the bill up here and give them that authority. I think that's good government.
I believe that.
And so I guess the point I'm trying to make, local bills are important to our local governments, and I just never have understood, I can't recall ever voting against a local bill that one of my fellow members of this House of Representatives brought forward. Because we don't implement anything on most circumstances. But I'll be happy to talk with you if you want to roll it for a week. I'll look at your list. You can look at our list. And you know, hopefully at the end of the day we're going to pass your bill. But I hope we all think seriously when any local bill is brought up here of what exactly is happening and what the process is. And I would appreciate it if you'd move it over a week. Thank you.
You recognize.
I appreciate it, and I hope you understand my frustration. Okay. Because I think I've been put in a camp of folks that I don't fit in. I would like to let me first say I want you to do some research on me. And I hope that as you question me today, you'll also say you're wrong when we get up here next week. But I will roll it till Wednesday.
Let me see if there's an objection. Is there an objection? Chairman Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, what I've been looking at is the bill that you introduced talks about dealing with the private acts of 1903 in the abstract, but it also deals with the act of 1903, 1915, 1961, 1998, 2001. So it affects more than just the private act of 1903. And also on the runoff provisions that you're talking about, if it's not a runoff provision, it leaves the members of the aldermen to decide who would serve as mayor. And I really think that that's something that state and local government needs to take a look at, because you're amending more than just the act of 1903. And if there's no objection, I'd like to move this bill, House Bill 2361, to the Committee on State and Local Government.
I'm going to call on Representative Mumpower next. Now, let me give you the parliamentary situation. Representative Odom requested Representative Crider to move it 1 week. Representative Crider, Wednesday we won't be here, so Thursday. Is that let's just say 1 week, okay? I think Representative Crider reluctantly agreed to do that. Representative Jones had sought recognition earlier. Now I'm going to go to Representative Mumpower.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The issue has been raised in regard to the voting record on local bills, and I know there seems to be some conflicting research. The majority leader asked Representative Crider to move his bill 1 week out of courtesy. Representative Crider did agree to do that, and I have been a member of the State and Local Government Committee. I recognize the importance of that committee and the work it does, but I would ask my friend, the chairman of the State and Local Government Committee, to allow the courtesy that that Representative Crider was going to go ahead with in rolling the bill 1 week, allow us to address the issue that has been raised, and just want to ask maybe for a withdrawal of that motion so we can go through the process that was moving forward.
Chairman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a courtesy to Leader Mumpower, I withdraw that motion.
You withdraw your motion. Representative Crider has requested, Representative Odom requested be moved for 1 week without objection. 1 week. Next bill.